My dear sister, I didn't board the Helios knowing what would happen, only that pursuing my research could change the world. And we did! Just not in the way I'd imagined. You've always tried to protect me. It's now my turn to protect you.
This is Nikola Tesla speaking, and unless it wasn't already obvious, this ship is under strict quarantine. This is a safe space for those with an open mind and a talent for the scientific arts to expand the limits of human endeavor. Away from prying eyes and cynical money men, here all that matters is progress as we reach for the very stars themselves. It is our floating home and the cradle of mankind's technological evolution. You walk within the very future of the human race, and you are most welcome.
Too close to the sun.
This is lead researcher Archer calling any survivors on this frequency. Is anyone out there? I repeat, this is lead researcher Archer calling for any survivors on this frequency. Is anyone... Rose?
This is Nikola Tesla speaking, and unless it wasn't already obvious, this ship is under strict quarantine. There is to be no movement on or off the Helios.
Ada, what the hell is going on? There's been an accident. Or sabotage. It doesn't matter. We need to get off this ship. Yeah.
Stop! You can't run from my throne!
Excellent, we've located the invasion force. However, we still don't know the size and composition of the enemy fleet. Thus, let's use the second reconnaissance option, which is an HQ skill called Air Recon. The invasion force is escorted by only 3 destroyers. Our fleet should be able to easily handle this. Carriers are the most important ships in our fleet. They serve as a mobile airbase for our planes, allowing them to restock on ammo and fuel and repair light damage. Carriers also have the ability to attack and defend themselves using their 127mm dual-purpose guns and 20mm AA gun. Of course, the main weapon of our carriers are their aircraft, particularly their dive bombers and torpedo bombers. We'll make use of this powerful weapon to attack the enemy destroyers, but first, let's change up their equipment. This is the equipment screen. Our dive bombers currently have 2 choices of bombs they can equip. Armor-piercing bombs deal damage exclusively to a ship's hull, engine, and main gun, ignoring other ship parts. Incendiary bombs do the exact opposite, dealing double damage to all ship parts except for those 3. They also have the chance of starting a fire on the ship, causing further damage and preventing planes from landing or taking off from carriers. Let's acquire the incendiary bombs for our dive bombers, as dive bombers are able to select which part of the ship they wish to attack, and we're going to focus our fire on the enemy AA to ensure the destroyers can't retaliate against our bombers during their turn. You'll notice the Japanese destroyer is now on fire from our bombs. With our second dive bomber, let's try out the armor-piercing bombs. You can see that our incendiary bombs have done their job. The enemy anti-air has been disabled. So let's do an ordinary attack to damage the destroyer's hull and engine. Next, let's attack with one of our torpedo bombers.
Set in a post-apocalyptic world, frozen in an eternal winter. Snow and ice have shaped a merciless landscape. Nature is corrupted. Dreadful creatures, out of an eldritch horror dream, roam the frozen waste. You are Ash, a man with one goal: protecting your daughter, Alice. You need to survive, find resources to rebuild your destroyed camp, and fight the monsters who attack it relentlessly. But a voice haunts Ash, an inner voice only he can hear.
I always watching you.
While he explores the ravaged land, Ash unveils pieces of his own past, how corruption spread over the earth, and about the mysterious eclipse. You must explore the frozen world, recruit followers, and build up your camp. The followers each have their own distinct strengths and weaknesses. Deadly creatures force you to choose your moves carefully. Will you run, sneak past in stealth mode, or attack? The creatures aren't your only foe. The unrelenting cold, the blizzards, the snow tornadoes, they all conspire to kill. You must have food and warmth to keep from starving or freezing to death. If you die, you have not one life, but a small number of lives, until your final death, when you must restart the entire game. But you will hold on to some perks, making your next run easier. Permadeath with some relief.
You fail. I triumph.
To protect Alice, your followers, and yourself, you must build up your camp, making it into a refuge. Your followers can construct several kinds of buildings and palisades. Smart resource management is key to your survival. Gather resources by collecting them, chopping down trees or hunting deer, and manage them in your inventory. Assign followers to gather more resources, or to build up special locations, giving you more advanced equipment. You must continue to push further into the wild, searching for more gathering areas. Without new sources of food and lumber, you'll quickly run out of resources. The sled will help you travel more quickly, though. As soon as you have wolves to pull the sled, you can use it, striking out toward distant landmarks. You should avoid combat for as long as possible, but there is no easy way out. Eventually, You have to face your enemies.
Stop running! You have something that belongs to me.
All this way!
Damn! Fran, let's move! Off with you!
This is the Straw. Cheap airship enough for you?
The Straw. You really are a sky pirate.
You seek the Yacht de Four, deep within the jungle of Golmore. There is a corner of the Feywood where a mist storm surges and seethes.
Well, what are we waiting for?
Not exactly close.
Compensation, is that what you want?
Straight to the point, aren't we? I like that.
But you must consider the prize. The Dawn Shard lies within, and Wraithwall's treasure.
The insurgents in Ravenasta operate alone at present. However, should they garner external support, the situation could worsen.
Her Majesty cannot abide weakness, least of all in herself.
Now's not the time. Should this fight drag on, Rosaria will enter the fray. The defense of Dalmasca is their excuse, and we will have a war between empires.
Tell me, do you still desire the stone?
I'm against this. The Empire must pay, but destruction?
We should leave this place.
Let me guess. Sandstorm?
Something far worse.
You took my father's life. Why spare mine now? You would have me live in shame!
If that is your duty, yes.
I must treat you as I would Ondor, as I would treat any better of the Empire.
You failed Landis. You failed Dalmasca. All you were to protect. Yet you still hold on to your honor. How?
I won my freedom. Yet my past is being cut away forever.
I needed to get away from his death. That's why I followed you.
The wrestler I knew is gone.
Face my wrath!
Use its power to restore Dalmasca? Something like that?
It will not come to that, I am sure. I have faith in her, faith in you both.
Reach out your hand, Lady Ash. That which you must grasp is something beyond revenge, something greater than despair.
History begins anew. And so House Solidor lives on.
thankfully. So, big stuff today. Let's begin with the biggest of them all, traffic. No more trucks clipping and passing through each other. You now need to take the layout into serious consideration. Be very careful how you place the roads, how you access everything. Don't cluster up too much. Just be mindful of the surroundings. Giving you some sweet toys to help you with this. The biggest one is the one-way roads. They are 2 lanes and you can control perfectly the traffic like this. Or if you want to go 3D, you can just put land bridges and overpasses over everything. Hopefully, this will minimize the amount of traffic you will have. When you see extreme gridlocks like this one, you need to either destroy everything and try to rebuild it, or just put one-way roads and the trucks will become what we call ghosts. They will go super slow and try to reach the closest valid destination. Use this in your favor, but don't abuse it, because the game will be watching and will throw random events your way if you abuse it. Also, a common thing we notice while testing is that warehouses and wholesaler are constantly blocked, so now they have 2 connections, one for entrance, one for exit. Many new players have issues knowing what each building does, so we added very detailed tooltips to the buildings at the bottom. These are the main features for this patch. So what are we doing next? A big one is a port to OS X, so that Mac users can enjoy the game. Then going to do what we call the queue bubbles. Basically, it will show how many trucks are waiting to leave every building in case there's traffic and they cannot leave. Going to expand on the tutorial a little bit. And on Alpha 11, which will be the last one, we'll add AI competition. So you will have to fight for the ownership of every town, every shop, and so on. They will aggressively try to overtake the business. Now that's out of the way, let's talk release. We have a plan for the 2nd of May, very big stuff. We're going to add a bunch of new things like new resources, new products, new buildings, and so on. But we want the game to be as polished as possible. After that, we're going to take a very small break and focus on post-release content. That there's a lot. Just because the game says it's 1.0 doesn't mean that it's finished. So for now, just look at how far we've come, enjoy, and have fun. I'll see you on the next patch.